Welcome, gents, good men of the chat, Christian, Skelly, Bookshelf, Timmy Kramer, the Forever Bachelor. Guess what? It just snowed 2 inches this morning. It's April. Check out Men's Daily Advice is in the chat. Good to see you. Wolf King is back. You know where he was last night, upstairs with his Polish lady. David Smith says, LEYKIS was legendary. I don't know that he actually practiced what he preached. I think he found his niche as a shock jock and just went with it. He did drop some. Yeah, we'll talk about him. He'll talk about him, David. Good commentary overview. Beefcake from England is back. Good to see you, brother. Char is in the chat. Thanks for wrenching. Thanks to all my wrench, Wolf King, Char, and all those guys. Now, listen, Tom LEYKIS was married 4 times. He's a total libtard. We don't talk politics here unless you're conservative. But we're going to bring about who he was. He was a shock jock. He grew up on the East Coast. He made it to California. He was married 4 times. I think his first marriage, he was 19, married a 25-year-old woman or something. He never wanted kids, but he married 4 times. Now, everybody said, but LEYKIS, you didn't follow what you taught. Well, he didn't really come into fruition until after his 4th divorce, and he gave a shit ton of money away. And he started realizing a few things, red pill nuggets, way before social media. I think MySpace was just starting. If any of you cats even know what MySpace was, it was after Friendster. If anybody knows what Friendster was. Hey, do you want to be my friend? But anyhow, he's a big fat man that made a lot of money and he pissed people off. But what he said, 99% of it, especially dealing with women, was spot on. He talked about no cohabitation, no marriage, do not date single mothers, be indifferent, put yourself up 3 times and you're done. No long-term emotions, keep everything out of it that's possible, and spend hardly any money. He did everything opposite, and he always brought up who? Poindexter. Poindexter in the LEYKIS 101, and I've already put in my description, there is a LEYKIS 101 link that you can check to look at the LEYKIS 101 rules. Now, if you're interested in dating or seeing a woman or so forth, whatever. But this show is all about how he exposed female nature way before anybody else. People knew about it, but Tom LEYKIS was truly the original that went out and really exposed female nature on air. He would have women call him, and you can listen to him all over YouTube. There's tons of channels that repackage his videos. There's a guy named Family Circle that does it, and he brings, he does a red pill shift with the Tom LEYKIS video, but check him out, the Family Circle. Shout out to John Boston, the legendary John Boston in Boston. He knows a thing or two about the ladies. Rich is in the house. Good to see you. Jeremy Bailey from England. Good to see you, brother. See, I try to do these Saturday or Sunday early mornings so I can get my European brothers because I really appreciate what they bring to the chat. MySpace. Can you remember MySpace? I love to listen to him put the smack down on his female callers and piss them off, and then later in life, it was Kevin Samuels who, he was all about marriage and things, but he tried to call ladies out. So people definitely took from Tom LEYKIS. Slams in the house, another wrench. I love his points, but he's a left wing. He is a total nut job. I don't know. When people get all that rich, they get all nutty. Maybe because he doesn't have kids. Who knows? Men's Daily, check out his channel, says this is a special live stream. Tom LEYKIS is still the truth to this. Absolutely. 100%. RP Pope's in the house. Good to see you. WHO says, Tom LEYKIS, I didn't like him at first when I came across him, but he was right. I was a simp refusing the truth back then. Well, he was a simp too. So, we're all reformed simps coming here. Yahoo chat rooms, I remember those. Paul Schmecker is back. Good to see you, brother. Christian says he knows a thing or two about female hypergamy. Absolutely. He's basically said, do everything opposite that you Poindexters and simps think you should be doing. Don't buy them flowers. Don't send them emojis. If they say, don't chase them, make them chase you. Go to a bar and watch sports. Don't go to try to find tail. Do everything that you think you can. His whole deal was to basically blow up modern day female entitled relationships. And I think he did a pretty good job at it, even though he's a total lib. Let's see. Jeremy says this fits in perfect on a chilled Saturday afternoon in the UK. I worked and smashed at a workout today. Attaboy, brother. Attaboy. Good to see you. Hopefully it's not too dreary over there in the UK. What do we got here? Tom may have some opinions. We agree to disagree, but in the end, he's right. Well, in the end, he's right. Women don't like nice guys. I don't care what woman it is. Women want mystery, and they want to be treated differently. They do not want pedestal treatment. I don't care who it is. It's been proven by LEYKIS. It's been proven by callers that call in. It's been proven that women that call in and say, I hate it when the guy's nice. I broke up because the guy was too nice. I'd say our impression of women here versus Europe is night and day. Wolf King. A simp cares about her feelings first and himself last. Ain't that the truth, Slam? We don't call them. Don't give them a towel after you're done. WHO. Good to see Harshit in the house. Yeah, absolutely. Let them lay in the wet spot. Primo living from BC. Check out Primo's channel. Good to see you, brother. For God's sake, never spend more than $40. And I think a lot of his is still ideal. He would actually say, ask them when they had dinner, and then don't take them to dinner. Just take them out at 9 o'clock. Get them a drink. You drink very little and try to get in their pants. He was all about helping men lay down with ladies. Let the biatches come to you, case them out, keep a distance. There you go. Good day to you as well, Primo. I heard we've had only 5 days without rain since November. Wow. We got snow this morning, brother. You can get me at Rebel Against Defeat. I should do that, RP Pope. rebelagainstdefeat@gmail.com. Someone should put that up for me, please. Not a fan of liberals. Liberals to me are weak men. Weak men we don't hang out with. Joseph Hoffman is back. Good to see you. There you go. Something is wrong with him. He's too nice. You know, when they're too nice, again, nice guys finish last because they're seeking validation. They're emotional. Good morning, Rad and gents. Travis is in the house. Good to see our brother Travis. BJ Fornash, another wrench. Good to have you. Oh, Christian, you're funny. Clouds and rain in Connecticut. Dang. He was definitely a weird mix of pickup roach and red pill. Like I said, it was very interesting because, again, 30 years ago, it was a different world in dating. I mean, it was easier to find girlfriends. It was a very different world than it is today. Lisa Smith from Kansas City. Good morning to you. Love the truth bombs you are dropping here. Women don't want to be treated nice in a way that women can be treated good, but not nice. Men can be treated good. You treat others how you want to be treated, right? But don't put your life in someone else's hands. This is what Tom LEYKIS was saying. There's too many Poindexters, too many simps that are giving these women everything, and then they're trying to figure out why they left them. They left them because there was no mystery to you. Tom LEYKIS said, if they are interested, it's better you can't fight for these women now. There you go. Why do you need a machine gun? Simone from Italy is in the house. Good to see you. FJT, our GigaChat, should know a thing or two about LEYKIS. If it wasn't for me finding him, I would have never have known any of you awesome people. I started listening to LEYKIS, probably around 15. I knew of him, but I never really listened to him because I was married in Simp Kingdom. Never fix her, it won't work. Attaboy. Peter. Is Peter new, Hobden? If Peter's new, let me know where you're at. When a man is married, he no longer lives as a man. Well, he lives as a servant in a way. He sacrificed himself. He puts everything first, which is not a bad thing. If you want to build something, you sacrifice for your kids. But you're right. He doesn't live for himself anymore. Becomes a shell of who he was. You shouldn't fix her. You can't fix her. Only she can fix her. Most don't want fixing. Reason they won't make sandwiches. Absolutely. He also talked about don't date single mothers. Tom LEYKIS would say that he would get someone's video or excuse me, telephone number, and he would literally erase it. So when they would call or text him, who's this? So the woman was like, oh my gosh, he's got options. This guy's got a Rolodex. Let's see what else I got. He said, don't pay, don't chase, be indifferent, follow your dreams. Exposing that men were succumbing to women's desires, spending half, if not more, of their salary on gifts to impress her, which in the end, like knocked him out of the running for this gal. That's why she goes to Chad. There's no mystery. There's nothing. And these guys would show up and tell these women everything on the first date. Don't tell them anything. Mysterio from Winnipeg. So your 2% of great women can convert to the 98% at any time. Absolutely, brother. Still a female brain. And even men that understand this can still go back to the red pill or the blue pill, right? Project AZ, greetings to you. Women should all be respected. Their body, their lives are meat to divest from lies and go to our own way like LEYKIS did, and I hope he still does. Meat, money, energy, attention, and time. Absolutely, brother. That's my cult. I put that up because I'm getting pictures today for my house to go on the market, so I had to put the train picture in my bedroom. But thank you, brother. David Smith says he listened to LEYKIS the first time. In like 13 or 14, my engagement just failed and I was just starting my monk journey. Yeah. And he's also got guys that call in. They're like, my girlfriend broke up with me. Why? And he's like, how old are you? 19. You're not supposed to have, LEYKIS also says you don't have a girlfriend until your late 20s or early 30s. I messaged Tom when I was 13 in middle school. He speaks with calmness. People would go show up. I mean, he'd go to these cities and people would show up at these LEYKIS events. It's crazy. Peter from the UK, once you have given your power away to a woman and she's got what she wants, she then opens the gates up to the barbarians on you, destroying it. Now, why does Tom LEYKIS says, don't get married, don't have long-term relationships, don't put emotions involved in it. Why? It's to protect a man's meat, money, energy, attention, and time. These are red pill philosophies, regardless of what he did. And then, he would always talk about him nailing chicks or whatever. He could because he had power and he had fame and he had money, right? Michael Fulton says, LEYKIS also said never go on dates on Fridays and weekends, save those for your buddies. Yes, he did. You're 100% right, Michael. He said go on dates between Monday and Wednesday and then Thursday through the weekend, your buddies or guaranteed throwdowns. And never answer the phone on the weekends. Variability, the amount of tolerable women is low. Couldn't agree more, brother. I tried to save my ex-wife and she threw everything away, including her life. You sure did, brother. Women are never worthy of our validation unless they respect their own limits. LEYKIS taught me that. That's exactly what he taught. And he was a very odd mix, a very integral mix between pickup game, if you wanted to get laid, and red pill. I wonder what he'd say now with all of the Me Too alligators. I wish I would have known about Tom LEYKIS in the 90s, man. Your seed is value. Absolutely. FJT, it felt like LEYKIS was talking to me directly. When I first heard him, I was dating a lot. So a lot of what he said, I related with. He helped me understand why women do the things that they do. Absolutely. Their brains, at the end of the day, female nature is not male nature. We try to think that women, the more we give, the more they'll give back. That's not true. In the majority, 98 to 99%. I don't get why anyone would really want to marry around 20. I don't care who they are. That's too young, maybe in between 1900 and 1980. Absolutely. A lot of religions do that. A lot of wimpy dudes that want to, hold on to her and cage her forever. We know that doesn't work. Marriage for them and their broad, we are only a means to an end. Well said, Project AZ. No divorce, no marriage, no effing Michael Bolton. I celebrate his entire catalog. You can't discipline kids these days without the law step. Absolutely. The Bible says to spare the rod, you spoil the child. I've been through divorce with 2-3 kids, and guess who? At the end of the day, you look at your decree, you know who's in charge of your kids? The government. They tell you when you can see your kid, when you can't. LEYKIS is a legend, so much wisdom I wish I had absorbed earlier in life. JW, speaking the truth. I would say Tom was the first to expose both blue-pilled men and damaged goods matrix Western chicks for who they are. When Tom went to South America, he decided to never date the matrix women again. Well said, men's daily advice. I think even if you meet a great woman, you still have to have other things going. Absolutely. It's the Jonathan Noble way in the end, if that's what you're interested in. 2 separate houses, 2 separate incomes, 2 separate lives. You come together, watch a movie, throw down, and leave. Practice some Turkish today and cleaned up my room. I'm content with what I have, even though people around you would doubt your happiness. Attaboy. Keep on progressing. Learn languages, folks. Get Free's back. Aaron Clary, he's got some good stuff. I would agree with that. Get Free. Kenny G. Oh my gosh. Kenny G. There you go. The specific thing I learned from LEYKIS, don't marry young. Wait until you get your shit straight and see if marriage is plausible. He also talks about prenups. Look, you're not going to stop people from getting married. Simps will continue to marry. They'll continue to go through the marriage will that Coach Greg Adams talks about, which is what all married and divorced men have been through. And he'll get his recompense. My favorite was when the feminist asked Tom what his perfect woman would be, and he said, if Helen Keller was hot, and she didn't know what to say to that. Well, yeah, he also says, don't talk. Men want peace, quiet, and freedom. We don't like to talk too much. Women, for the most part, talk too much. I think that's just how they're wired. As a man, it's sobering to realize they don't care about your emotions, but they expect you to lift theirs up. There you go, brother. Beer and Friends is back. I hope you're doing well and you've realized your ex should be kicked to the curb. Remember, we had that discussion a few streams ago. Good for you being here. Heartbreaking Heart, I really would like to know how to be the man she never forgot. You got to move on from her, brother. You got to move on. Never take an ex back. I found LEYKIS long before the former Mrs. Elbag jumped ship, and he got me thinking red pill and MGTOW and realizing things. Says T-Tox from the East Coast. Good to have you, brother. Well said. LEYKIS also said the perfect woman is the one who turns into a sandwich after you've had your way with her. Well, yeah, and you marry them, and they get heavy, they get lazy, you know. When you give them everything, and don't say you love them. That's what else he says, talks about him. You ran into Kenny G at Golden Gate Park. Did he have his long hair? Ex who dumped me without a care to find herself and cries to me that you've made a life without me and I miss you. Uh-huh. So what happens? Thanks, Char. You guys need to abuse the button. There is no rite of passage to being a lady. Well, I think you're right. I think men have it hard. When arguing with your ex, did you ever feel like hitting her? No, but I would clench my teeth every now and again. Just be like, gosh, damn it. Men are so diverse. Women are only good still for one thing. That's what we as men, no matter how different, have to learn. Well said, Project. FJT. Tom said $0 is optimum on a date, so I took his advice and stopped spending money. That's when I realized that if a girl likes you, you don't have to spend money to get laid. Blow me up, Tom. Is that what he said, Primo? How about the good-looking blind women? Oh, I've seen some. Yeah, I saw one blind gal that looked very attractive. She must have had really good, a great mother and great sisters or something. Remember, the legs are open. Well, he was not apologetic. He basically said, this is a channel for men to find ways to get laid for no money and no commitment. And, you know, to do that. And he exposed what exposed. He showed men that you didn't have to do everything your mom and dad told you to do. Every day watching your videos, feeling better. Good for you, brother. Keep on doing that. Just get that woman. You got to write. I wrote a little booklet. I think it's my second video. Go to the oldest, and it'll tell you what to do. You write your pro and cons list down, and you read that every time you feel a little sad. Trade a goat for a virgin in Uzbekistan, live in a cave. There you go. David Smith, well said. What you said at the beginning is true. Back in the day, I was young and naive, bought a gift for a woman I was dating, never, ever heard from her again. Glad I learned from my mistakes. Guys, how many times have you went up, chased a woman, went after a woman, you never heard from her? I've proven the Tom. Now I was always confident growing up, junior high, when I started learning about when I started getting hair on my wiener and going through whatever, what's the word, maturing. I don't know what's the damn word. I can't even think about it. Anyhow, when I started looking at women and started, feeling that they were attractive to me, I never really had a confident problem, except my very first time I went to a dance. I asked the gal to dance and she rejected me. So I went to the bathroom and I was like, damn it. And then I went back and I asked another gal and she danced with me and I never looked back. But the issue is when you do everything that LEYKIS says, you will have success. Yeah. Take me out with a bong hit, right, David Smith? Even $12 at the movie was too much. Well, yeah, why do I mean, look, spend money if you want, but it's not necessary. Lisa says, those women who called in on Tom's haters, oh, those are the best when they call in. He tells them, get off, you old bag. Well said. I was going to ask you, when your ex had work parties and you saw our nurse workmates, were the nurses heavy set? Some were heavy and some were skinny. Most of them divorced. Puberty. That's right, Davis. I was looking for that word. I don't recommend men going down the rabbit hole of head meds. If you're having relationship issues or divorce, it will get you into Yes. Men, you do not need medication unless you are like clinically and medically, that your doctor says. And you've gone through multiple tests. You don't escape. We have to go through the pain. Well said, Pete. What's wrong with telling a woman you love her? She quits working for your affection. A 6-pack of Old Milwaukee and a go-to pizza, 23 total. You might get lucky in your truck. What more does she need? Old Milwaukee for 300 Trebek. Maturation. I was thinking puberty. Rad can't wait to go skate. Weather is suck. Going to Vermont to see the eclipse on Monday. Ooh, they're talking about the eclipse being an interesting sign of the times. I love those haters calling in on LEYKIS. You can still listen to him. He's got collections, compilations of them. Your BMW makes you happy. Well, your BMW won't let you down until you have 100,000 miles. You had an abundance mindset then. Yeah, I did. I mean, I grew up in a very difficult time in the 80s. Dad was a construction guy. Things were tough. Interest rates were 18 to 21%. You guys understand how difficult life was back then? Did you see my links on Gmail? Yes, I did, brother. I always found it funny how Tom makes millions and still didn't give women money. He never bit his tongue. Take me out, Kobe. Take me out African tribal style with Kobe. Right when the balls drop. He calls them catchers Mitt Karens. Oh, respect. Well, it goes back to programming. It really is. Programming does not work. A woman wants to compete for a man's attention. Man's attention should be on his grind, what he wants to achieve in life. She wants to beg. This is what turns a woman on. She wants to beg for the attention of a man. She wants a man just to look at her if she likes him. That's the truth. That's the programming. When a man does the opposite and puts her first, she dries out like the Sahara Desert. Whenever I find myself thinking about females, I imagine them as fleshless bags of bones, and that shuts it right down. Well, we have to remember a female, they're beautiful, but they also are a normal human being. They get sick. They go to the bathroom. When they take their makeup off, they have cycles. I mean, look, we don't need to put them on pedestals. Remember the gas station condom machines? I sure do. What about the ones in the bathrooms? Rad, when you said my Gmail photos, this girl, there you go, brother. I also like Corey Wayne. He says that you can say a woman that you love her, but you need to stay detached from the outcome. Love are just chemicals. My female friend let her early 20s son go on antidepressants because he broke up with his girlfriend when I was his age. I don't recall being that distraught over any woman to do that. Guys, you can't go on head meds if you're going through a breakup. That is the worst thing, as Peter points out, Mysterio points out. You just don't do it. She does, Rich, like a mile and a half away. 4 of my friends from high school are in successful marriages. I'll be happy to join them when I marry my girlfriend this year. Just be careful, brother. She wants to swoon. There you go. Big Vegas Mike is in the house. Big Vegas 05. What's good, Rad? And gentlemen, stay focused. Keep away from the draining 304s. Well said. The strip club condom machines next to a cologne machine and tampon dispenser. They smell pretty too. There you go. Bookshelf's back. Can I touch her hair? Yep, they're waiting at the finish line for the winners. They sure are, Slam. They cut to the front. I can't connect with anyone quickly anymore. It's a different world now. People are different. The social media has destroyed everyone. Dude, this chick at work is starting to get mad that I'm not paying any attention. It's the point that she's making snide comments to try and get my reaction from me. It's hilarious. And no surprise, David, no surprise. They're always weighing the pros and cons of female nature, but stay fully detached from it all, says Megatron. Well said, brother. Glad you are here. Women want quick and dirty. I need to relearn that if I want to be part of the scene again. Be careful. It's risky out there. Corey Wayne, I listened to a few things. He's got a couple nuggets, but, he's selling dating strategy. We don't sell dating strategy here. How I see women these days, I don't believe them. And what else does Project? A lady is something enough said. Well, again, when men put her first, you put yourself last. The 80s Mohawk. There you go. You got it. You got it, Christian. Your generation learned how to overcome issues in tough time. Nowadays, there's too much comfort that we aren't able to embrace failure anymore. Well, my ex put my daughter and my oldest boy on head meds, and I've tried to get him off the head meds. The daughter is unsalvageable at this point, but I told him, you got to work through this. The problem with head meds is that you have to keep up in the doses and all that crap. And you're not dealing with the issue. You got to go through a breakup. I would not be here unless I went through a divorce, a very difficult divorce. Call HR, call Toby in HR. If you try and make her a forever thing, it'll fail. Yeah, guys, again, and he also says she's not yours, it's just your turn. If you have a throw in the sack with her, accept it. Don't future plan because you just nailed somebody. Keep your emotions out of the game. This is not a channel for men to get married. I do not recommend marriage. I'm not against it. I do not recommend it. There's a difference. It's too risky. The rewards are very little. The return on investment is not there. Now, if you want to have kids because you want your legacy to go, you're going to have to deal with what comes because of that. The government at some point will be involved, and she knows that. That's all right, Joseph. We move forward. Remember, you will remove toxicity from your life if it's your own blood. I won't read that, Wolf, but I do laugh. I got a trophy for what? Participation. I remember coaching my kids' soccer, and the lady's like, well, can we get trophies? I said, no, we lost every game. They don't get a trophy. She ended up buying trophies at the cupcake party. Corey Wayne promotes a positive mindset. I would suggest that you do the same on your channel. Positive about what, brother? Get free. You should state your raw intentions with your girlfriend before you marry, meaning no nonsense. She cheats, drugs, financial chaos. She's out. Yeah. On this channel, we speak the cold hard truth, brother. You haven't been married, you haven't been through divorce. So if you have, then we can talk. But I do appreciate your comments, and I appreciate the fact that you are positive about your girlfriend. I hope it works out. Truly, I do. Monk mode is better rewards. Well said. Retrain your seed. Retain it. Primo says ignoring them is always the best. See, the whole fantasy is men thinking the more they give and the more they're nice to women and their wives and girlfriends, the more they'll get. Bullshit. Marriage may destroy your life, but divorce surely will. Divorce and marriage has taken out many of our brothers. I absolutely agree, Rad. My engagement wasn't such a disaster. I'd probably still be simping like an idiot. The trauma was necessary. Yep. I don't know about that, Mysterio, with Dennis Prager. Gracias porque estás de acuerdo conmigo. Denard, where are you from? ¿De dónde eres? Rad is positive. I just call reality. That's all it is. Sharing my experience with others. Don't want you in the same boat. Please. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. Polska doing pizza. Bob, put some pineapple on that pepperoni for me. Been seeing a gal 2 months, going in with red pill knowledge. She was raised by her dad and grandma, and it shows. She loves to surf. No marriage. Can't have kids. Waiting on the nature to show up. Just live in separate houses, Travis. But, do it the Jonathan Noble way. If she gains weight, she's out. There's nothing biologically wrong with your brain that needs medical treatment. Just because you are getting divorced, depression is a normal response in such circumstances. We have to go through depression and sadness to understand glee and joy and happiness, right? Oh, geez. That's crazy, brother. Christian. Megatron, Rad knows how to spread the good word around. I just share my knowledge with other guys, young and old. I'd love to hear your experiences, your stories too. If the whole thing I'm going fishing, I hope it all gets figured out, but I care less and less every day. All the best to all here. Attaboy, brother. Go get yourself a nice fish. All right. Yeah, we hope it works out for Get Free. We just, I wouldn't do it again. If she has debt, she is out. Well said. A lot of them have debt. He don't even acknowledge her existence. She gets, well, women love attention. That's her currency. Don't give her any money. No, whatever you do, guys, do not give them money. Getting chewed up by the system has made me into the grizzled RP man that I am, T-Tox. And I'm in that boat with you. What is sad is the pick-me dance at the end of the marriage relationship. Well said. Who really wants to marry and have kids more? Men or women? I would say men. But you say women. Ron Jeremy is a clown world. Apparently, he got off the hook. Did you guys see that? They dropped the alligators against him. Just for anyone who hasn't been married out there, marriage is the most misandrous thing a man can do to himself. And sadly, unknowingly to other men and the boys who have to suffer being birthed. Speaking from experience, I used to follow Corey Wayne until I found your channel. This means that the so-called coach wasn't providing the harsh truth. He has a business, Look, he is a positive guy. I've listened to a few of his things. Blasphemy. No, it's not, Bob. Come on. What are you just going to put? Meat and cheese? That's all right, too. Soy de Maryland. Palante. Como elefante. The Bible says that men and women are meant to be together. I just think your channel should reflect the holy word of God. It's good to be spiritual, that's for sure. I wasted a lot of time chasing fantasy, and now I'm rebuilding emotionally after loss. And if you guys don't know Slam's channel, I think Slam, do a video on your channel about you getting married, having a kid, and what happened with your ex. I think that would be a very good story. It might take a while, but post it up. I love pineapple and pepperoni. It's my favorite. I know it's blasphemous. I would talk smack to those soccer kids when she gives them the trophy. You guys, yeah, I looked at her. I said, they didn't win a game. They don't get a trophy. You get a trophy when you're the champion, but not in Oregon. Everyone gets a trophy. No wonder there's so many soy boys. Cold pizza. I love cold pizza, especially pepperoni with pineapple. We send you the best of luck, Get Free. We love women, but we also understand them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I think Get Free is probably in his 20s, right? Cold pizza is best in the morning. What was your first impression of the first couple that got divorced while you were married and your marriage was? I thought it was really interesting. They were in our church and they had 5 kids. I'm like, why are they getting divorced? They seem like such a happy. It was weird. I've had girls touch me in a bad way when I was a kid and have been devoid of trust of females ever since. You've probably saved yourself a ton of misery, brother. FJT, that's why I love being single. I don't have to deal with an emotional brain. If she nags, she's out. If she tries to manipulate, she's out. I love this stress-free life. I'm alone, not lonely. I love living on my own. It does not matter what you think about your wife or your ex. They will not change. They change the moment you say you love them. I would definitely say men truly want families. Women want the status and image that comes with marriage. They want the label. Well said, David. They want the label of a wife, and then they want the label of being in a marriage. We mean a men's gathering in the future. We sure do, Timmy. Time to form Voltron and battle the Robo Beast female. A girlfriend will surely destroy my dreams, much like narcissistic parents. Sure. See, Slam likes pineapple on pizza. Well said, Christian. I think there's a meetup coming in Mississippi. Here's Jerron Markel. He's back. Yo, happy birthday. After the brief after shop, 4.8. Yeah, that was crazy yesterday. Hope you're well, brother. Did you feel it? 38. Ah, okay. I thought you were younger, brother. Well, at least you're older. That's a good thing. Bullocks to faith, especially those who are about help men stay tradcon and reign by the state and courts. F religion. Arriba, adios, espiritualismo. Well said. Great idea of getting a pepperoni, pineapple, and jalapeno. Ooh, throw in the jalapeno. See you later, Bob. Did you miss your sons being with you? Yeah, I mean, it was tough. That guys, it's horrible when you live with your kids for 16 years, and then the guy in the black robe, well, in this case, she was a woman, and you have to go. That first night without my kids in an apartment, leaving the house that I put over her head. That first couple days was tough. There's a lot of men that get very self-destructive when that happens. I've been making huge progress in English since the day I decided to fully focus on myself. I highly doubt I'd speak better if I had women on my mind. Good for you. And you do speak well. I thought my fat ex farted yesterday was an earthquake. Pineapple, jalapeno. Ooh, sriracha. There's nothing wrong with sriracha, folks. Sriracha for 300 Trebek. Jerron Markel from Brooklyn says, Tom Leykis before he went radical libtard, opened my eye to female nature and male and female dynamics. Absolutely. He also opened us to what men did wrong and what he did wrong. So I appreciate the fact that he actually said that he sinned. He did the wrong thing by getting married 4 times, but he learned his lesson. It took him 4 times. But eventually, by the time he was 35, he learned it. I didn't learn it till 43. Going on 9 years now. Right? See you later, J-Dub. I have said this before, and again, women can't be equal rights. Well, we're not equal. I can't say that because I got a video banned because of that. We have different traits and we have different brains. Mouth Agape is back. He's on his motorcycle somewhere. Good to see you, brother. But that's what we're talking about. I mean, really, Leykis was one of the originals to expose men how to be men with ladies, how to act, how to not, follow the programming, do everything opposite. Now, this is not a dating channel. This is not a channel for you to go find ladies. This is a channel to help men understand women. We do not hate women. We understand women and we understand ourselves. Okay, it's a male nature and a female nature channel. Mr. Sam, I'm not kidding. Yesterday I just got a message from a prima. I don't know what I should do. ¿Qué hace? ¿Tiene novia o está disponible? Well, I don't know, brother. Be safe. I felt it, very minor quake, and in Brooklyn, the majority of the quake was in Jersey, but I didn't feel the aftershock. Yeah. Wonder what those buildings were like. Crazy. Del Hart's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Never watched Smallville, brother. Never watched it. Definitely hard to love them. We love differently. Women and men love differently. Project AZ Rad. Leykis made it clear we have to stop begging for the peace league. Well said. Well said. If you like ham, good chance you can pick up a 10 to 15 pound ham for $13 at less than $1 per pound. I do like me some good honey baked ham. I think it'd be a great story of your life if you found a new woman to love. Free. No, I'm past that, my brother. The only person I love is the one that's looking at in my mirror and my parents. We understand the reality of the male-female dynamic. No more fantasy here. We Gen Xers have a high tolerance of spicy food. We sure do. I love spice. I'd rather be overwhelmed as a single parent than be without my son facing extreme depression. Hats off to those fighting for time with their kids in the corrupt system. That's one great thing, that you have, Slam, 100%. FJT talked to his coworker. He's told me I'm lucky that I'm not married. Said he loved his kids and wife, but he regrets it. Said he hates going home every day to a nagging and sexless marriage. Yeah, check out FJT's channel. He's got a couple videos of his coworker talking to him. Very interesting. I think she liked the fact that I skated. I was opposite. She was a follower. She was a soc. And I was a skater, good skater. And I think she liked that. A skateboarder that drops in on a 12-foot half pipe, does inverts, and, it's kind of a chat in its own way, right? I never begged for it. I grabbed some. If she said no, I handled it myself right there and right then. It made her feel unempowered. Interesting. Good. Tom Leykis definitely led me to MGTOW. I've listened to all his work since 2003. Yeah. I mean, he got a lot of guys just understanding what we did wrong, how to understand women, what makes them turned on. Estoy como monje últimamente. Los hombres tienen que aprender una mujer solamente vale por el momento. Por 300 Trebek. Well said. It's always in the moment, folks. It's always in the moment. What you feel, what she says to you, I love you, I'm so in love with you. In this moment you are. But it has the potential to change. Leykis even said, the women who listen to my show appreciate me for telling them how guys think and what they don't like. John Markell. And then the haters would call in. And the women that loved Leykis are like, oh my gosh, my boyfriend is too nice. I'm turned on by guys that are jerks. I like the one where he says, treat him like crap. And women are calling in. And they're just like, oh, I love it when he treats me like crap. I'm off sitting around thinking about him, wondering, what is he doing? Interesting. When you hear the words wife and girlfriend or partner, what comes to mind out of those three? I think girlfriend sounds more fun. But yeah, wife and partner, I don't like those words. She liked the danger and the abusive skater boy Rad. I was debated to play cleanup after mistakes, a single mom with 2 kids. I just want to tell everyone here to never give up on finding love. Men and women were meant to be together. But you got to read Corinthians, my brother. Read what Paul says to the Corinthians. He tells married men to stay married. He tells single men not to get married. That's Paul, the disciple of Jesus. So go read it and tell me. I would love to hear your thoughts. 1 Corinthians, I think it's chapter 3 or chapter 10. I can't remember. Leykis was my introduction to how they tick, especially treat women like crap. You didn't know I could speak Spanish? Well, I spent a lot of time in Venezuela and Colombia, and I spent a lot of time, probably 2.5 years total. I got my degree in Spanish and humanities as my major. Palante como elefante. But yeah, we could all speak. It's fun. Learn Spanish, guys. Wonderful language. I love it. John Markell. He's laying it down in Chinatown. My last ex was vicious. She told me, la verdad, Sam nunca te quiso. Nope. The truth is tough, right? Joseph says, great advice. One day I spotted one that was on the hunt, teased her a little bit, and then ghosted her. And what'd she do? She's probably looking for your attention again. Barking up the wrong tree, man. Unfortunately, you'll have to go through the shit to understand the shit. Well, here's the deal. I can't tell a guy not to get married because he doesn't know what it's like, or he hasn't had kids. He hasn't been through divorce. So it's very difficult for someone to share an experience, but they haven't had that experience, right? Some get it, some don't. Some take the chance. It might work for Get Free, right? It might work. There's 1% to 2%. Maybe he's got 1% to 2% of the gals. I listened to Leykis on YouTube back in the day and still do from time to time. She works, and she's probably very tired. She's on her feet all day as a nurse. But I don't know. I haven't seen her or talked to her I haven't seen her for 9 months, and I have not talked to her for 5 months. Men get what they can afford, and women get what they can attract. Leykis wasn't kidding. Well said, Delhart. That is absolutely what he said. Well, Paul must have been a player then. Go read it. I'm telling you, read the Corinthians. That Spanish comment. Red rat. Wow. Guys, Spanish is easy. I learned it when I was young, 19. Still speak it today. Love it. I don't think Alan Wake would save his wife today. Okay. Sotunar is back. Shout out to Sotunar. He's a good guy. He's always in the chats. The experience of losing the influence over your children. Couldn't have said it better. That is the toughest part of losing kids in divorce. Your influence is half of it now. When I first found Leykis, sometimes I listen to him without headphones. If a woman is nearby, they get so triggered. One woman said, stop listening to that evil man. I listened to it with a couple gals. I'm like, you got to listen to this. He's such a jerk. I knew exactly what they'd say. Can't explain that, only experience it. Well said, Joseph. Why are these studies that state that married men live longer, yet most men who marry are susceptible to a 70% divorce rate? I don't know if those statistics are real. I'm very happy. I think my health is much better being single than with somebody. SCE is in the house. Good to see you, brother. My master wrench. Totally get that, Rad. I don't wish bad on Get Free or anyone else that wants to try, but I absolutely refuse to go back to the plantation. Now, that's the thing. You know, if you've been there, you've been through it, and when you truly understand emotions, you can't go back. Well said, Christian. She did nothing apart from wishing me a good day. The old me would have texted her nonstop. Yeah, I've known a lot of guys that have reached out to me that keep texting them. They're like, why doesn't she respond? Do the opposite. Sotunar. Yeah, you know, that's the problem. I'm going on almost a year of being back on. And, you know, it is what it is. Different world now. I'd much rather have the strong men in my chat and my channel now than, you know, the past. Being a gentleman doesn't work unless you want to hear her subservient emotional tampon. Having standards, boundaries, and knowing your worth as a man threatens them. They didn't want men to know this. And I think that's what Leykis brought to light. Catholic saint saw Eve in the garden. She was distracted, easily swayed from the beginning. Women definitely need wife school training, a must. Yeah, sure. They used to go to finishing school. My mom said she went to finishing school. Crazy, huh? Well said, Christian. Lisa says, he's such a jerk means he's telling the truth. Well, yeah, I mean, if you really think about that comment here, Lisa, it's the fact that when a man is nice, he's probably bullshitting. Nice guys are the worst. They're the most dangerous men in the world because they're seeking external validation. They're seeking to be pat on the head by the lady. You're such a good boy. That's what they want to hear every day. Those are the guys that take matters into their own hands and drive cars into crowds and do other things. If you get banned again, Rad, do you think you would just go to Rumble? Nah, I'd probably do it again. As long as I have something to say. So I don't know if you guys heard, if you go back and listen to the first, the band I played, it was Vain. If anybody knows Vain, I'll put the song in the description. Vain is a great metal band, kind of obscure, but they were very good in the late 80s and early 90s. If Sotunar knows that. As a guy, I see a lot of girls I want, but they messed up the whole dating and relationship dynamic. As a guy, everything that isn't swiping right on a dating app nowadays is considered creepy. Yep. Well said. Ronald Reagan says he's from the government and is here to help. My biggest dream is to go back in time and fix everything I did wrong. Well, you know, that would be great, but it's great to just understand the past doesn't exist and you learn from it and you keep the present real. The future is unreal. It doesn't exist, never will. There's no such thing as the future. It's only now. Grasp what I just said. There's no such thing as the future. It's only now. So do the things now that hopefully make tomorrow a better now. Unfortunately, there are no women to teach girls to be decent. Finishing school can't exist. Well, the only finishing school right now is the Kardashian school. Manage Roy is in the house from Mumbai. You get taken advantage of if you become a nice guy. You sure do. You should leave any toxic behavior behind, Christian. Psychedelic furs. I think they're coming this year. Scotty's in the house, our Giga Chad. Just got out of the gym and dripping in. He's eating his nuts right now and his peaches or apricots. Good to see you. I have not seen you guys go live for a couple nights, Scotty. What's up? Who wants to be a Charles Bronson 24/7? Charles Bronson, dude. Death Wish. Still a big Vane fan. Beat the Bullet. There you go, brother. I just played Rolling with the Punches from 2017. It's a Long Goodbye. That's a great song. Yeah. We got a lot of good men in this chat. Good experiences, good commentary, good thoughts, good philosophy, keeping men out of trouble. That's what we're here for. The red pill is just trying to keep men out of trouble, keep men out of deleting themselves or deleting others. Why would any man want to pick from this spread a female nowadays? This is why LEYKIS was on the air for so long. Yeah, I mean, he came and again, all great creators have something to say, and then they go into, they have nothing to say anymore, right? Scotty likes his nuts, likes his protein. He's our Giga Chad. Ike and I have been very busy, so I haven't had a chance to stream. We'll be back. Okay, brother. I know he's been streaming with Polska. Treat them like Todd. Todd was great. Men are leaving the conversation anywhere. It's part of why the government is panicking. It's not funny. Thanks for being here, brother. I think you're right. It goes. Gotcha. Been out of the loop. Okay. All right. Let's get back. Thanks for talking about no emotional bank account with ladies. I'll tell myself that when the programming. There is no such thing as emotional bank account. Guys, you can hang out with a lady if you want. You can be monk. You can be hit and quit, but there's risk and rewards to all of that. Okay. LEYKIS was great in getting started with it. He really exposed female nature in a very direct way. I liked his approach. Well said, Scotty. I take a look. So if I go back in 1996 when I met my ex, very beautiful woman, got the emotions, fell in love, got married, had kids. But it was like a cell phone with a brand new cell phone battery. When you pull it out of the box and you plug it in for the first time and the Apple or Android logo pops up and you got kind of get that dopamine, like this is a brand new phone. It's got a new battery. It's going to be fast. It's going to be totally up to date, new technology. And then 8 weeks later, the battery is at 95%. Then a year, it's at 82%. Then it holds on to 82% for another year and a half. Then you got to get a new phone at your second year mark. That to me is what happens. It never goes back to 100%. Too much hardline red pill for me here. I'm going back to Dr. Phil. That's all right. You're always welcome here, Get Free. Literally the bottom of the barrel in terms of opinion. That's another reason I stay monk. David Smith, well said. The boundaries that used to keep men and women in line are gone. Well, women can act any which way they want, and men will line up for them. They can get 300 pounds. Men will send for them. They'll thirst for 300 pounders. They can get tattoos all over their face and get destructive and be on head. Men will line up. Right? So you're absolutely right, Joseph. When was the last time you went biking? Was it Monday? No, it was last week. But there's snow today. I wanted to go this weekend, but it's too cold and windy. That's why crime and women are out of control. Yep. Play her some David Koresh vinyl. Facts, Rad. Well, this channel, has all sorts of folks that listen to it. So we just respect, and hopefully they respect. Rad, you notice the desperation, how women dress these days, they leave nothing to the imagination. Why get upset when men don't respect what they see? Absolutely. Don't chase the 304s, right? The lines between men and women were purposely blurred to help them in their agenda. Ooh, well said. As young girls, we really do need to be raised domestic. My classmates had me pegged as a stay-at-home mom in 6th grade. I got teased that young as being a Susie homemaker. And look at you now, 2 grown kids, a marriage, you're still together. To motivate, see this poem, St. John of the Cross, the dark night of the soul. You had to go through your own personal trial of fire to come out better on the other side. Absolutely, brother. Is that Carlos Castaneda? Dark Night of the Soul. Being a fan of stand-up, Patricia O'Neill opened the red pill door for me. Yeah, there's another great one. Patricia O'Neill. Men have been silenced for so long, and Leykis had the cojones. So actually say what most men wanted to say, but were afraid to, otherwise they would lose their cute hookup. Yep. Well said. It's all part of the plan. Divide and conquer is definitely a thing. Sure. 2024 will be an interesting year. Leykis educated me about family court and alimony. I had no idea about that stuff at the time. I was offended that my family never taught me about that stuff. And look at your dad. I mean, sounds like a nice guy, but on his 3rd marriage, going through a 3rd divorce, that's not cheap. You know, people that we know. CJ says you can't compete with Steely Dan. Slap, Jack, do it again. We're going round. Michael McDonald. Patrice really propelled me deeper into the red pill. Leykis got me started. Patrice pushed me further. Well said, Scotty. When I was busy minding my own business, my mom searches for me. If I bother her playing stupid, she tells me to go away. A lot of ladies are like that. Remember, folks, betas and liberals are seriously weirdos. Oh, they sure are. 25 years next week. Congratulations to Lisa and her husband. Leykis made it clear women and men are so different. What we need is a separate feast, like Ernest Hemingway believed, however, he offed himself. Yes. Yeah, he went to Cuba, didn't he? Anyone here been to Wasteland Weekend? I've never been. Saul Alinsky's Rule for Radicals. There you go. That guy was a tool. Dark Night of the Soul originated with the Spanish saint, didn't it? Carlos Castaneda wrote that book. The future is just 24 hours away, really. One can assess their moves. Well said, Mr. 304 moms. There's a lot of 304s out there, brother. Yep, those are the facts. I still listen to old Paul Proteus. Oh, Proteus was great. Good deep thinker. I love women, but I now know that facts are my guard is fully up, but still enjoy myself, but I stay safe and don't lose sight of what their plans are. Well said, Beefcake. Be very wary of women with a horse and a purse collection. Have you ever been to Sasquatch Festival? No, but I think that'd be fun. Too many guys wrecked in the Navy, young too, that made an impression on me. You know, look at Timmy Kramer. His uncle at 18 told him never to get married. He's 58. All of his friends have been married 10 times. Drawn learned about the court system and how females use babies as pawns against man, especially the ones with my color. Yep. Congrats to Lisa. You know, there are a 1 to 2. My sister is one. Lisa's one. And they have no problem listening to this. They see the women. Lisa's got 2 boys. Do you think that she wants her boys to be with 304s? She wants her boys to understand female nature so they don't end up played, right? Charles Manson, Wolf King. A lot of 304s are tatted up with snake tattoos, you name it, Christian. Our DNA makes it impossible to really go monk mode for life or ignore chicks for life. We're all really enslaved by our desires for physical affection. Well, if you have testosterone, you absolutely. Carlos Castaneda, Dark Night of the Soul. Oh, okay. Didn't he write Dark Night? He wrote a series. I'm thinking of, okay, you're thinking of the John of the Cross. Gotcha. Mr. Forma. There you go. It's been a while. Another analogy would be we were all gusanos at one time and we have metamorphosed in the flying red dragon. Gusanos means worm. I hope my son listens to the content like yours, Rad. I gave up trying to talk to my dad about divorce. Someone who bent the knee will never understand. They don't. If you haven't been through it, you don't understand it. You're right, brother. All we can do is our best to control those urges, says Scotty. Well said. Sprawling tats and multicolored hair equals a poison frog. That's why we take our red pills daily. David's 10 years monk. He's going to stay that way. They turn into, there's a lot of 304 and single moms out there. Some of the single moms are very attractive. I've nailed a couple of them back in the day. Never get in a relationship with them. They're great. They're great in the sack. But you got to be careful there. I heard LEYKIS'S, Scotty, around 2015. I knew of him, but I really, really, truly heard him about that time. Listen to Omi Adams recently, and his take on marriage and kids is something to consider. I like Castaneda. I like Gabriel Garcia Marquez. He wrote, what's the word? Love in the Time of Cholera, which is a great book. Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Colombian. And his books are translated into English. Very well said. I think when I get to Mexico or wherever I'm at, I'm going to start reading the classics like Hemingway and Kerouac and, Tolstoy and those guys. Do I watch any? Yeah, I've watched a couple. My old self would say that Megan Fox is a great actor, and my new self sees her as a bad actor. Oh, she's horrible. There you go, Megan Fox. She's gorgeous back when she came on the scene. Look at her now, tatted up, 304, disgusting. She's a role model. Go figure. LEYKIS was the breath of fresh air for me. I didn't have anyone around me to educate. Whenever I asked questions, society always said, Nawalt. Yeah, they sure do. Not all women are like that, FJT. It's a good book. Sotenar. Donald Fagen from Steely Dan sings. Oh, he does? I did not know that. Interesting. I thought it was Michael McDonald. They age like hunks back with the buffalo hump. She might make a great snuff star. Yeah. All the best to Lisa. D-Man's back. Good to see D-Man. Another wrench. Working today, but dropping a like. Thanks, brother, for being here. Thanks for showing the channel up. Why did Bourdain call it quits? He let his emotions become the captain of his plane. That's why, guys. He let his emotions become the captain of his plane. This is what we're trying to do. Stern's weird. He's a libtard. Blowfly is hilarious. All right. Megan Fox drinks, but she's a wacko, dude. Did you like it when the MMA guy went up to her Machine Gun Kelly and told him he's a total puss? He's a disgrace as a man. What was it? Sean Stevens? Who's the MMA guy that's really outspoken? Rad, have you ever read anything by Nicolas Gomez Davila? He's hard to find in English. No, I have not, but I will take that recommendation. LEYKIS also spoke about the whole fake crying to emotionally manipulate men into doing things for her and gaslighting to do her bidding. Women are not stupid. They're very clever how they use emotions. The best a gal can do is be a good mother. The worst, a series of orifice to be smashed. Couldn't have said it better, brother. You spin me round, 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 round. That was a great dance song back in the day, Lisa. They sure did. Wolf King wants UConn to beat Bama. Got to post some of the Davila's quotes. In an age of which the media broadcasts countless pieces of foolishness, the educated man is defined not by what he knows, but by what he doesn't know. Well said. Hierarchies are celestial. In hell, all are equal. Rad, any thoughts about what happens when she gets too many seeds? She turns into the traits of the men she sleeps with. It's called micro-chimerism. I only watch Stern when Beetlejuice is on. Beetlejuice. Oh, he's funny. How do you spell red? Lester. Isn't his name Lester? Dying societies accumulate laws like dying men accumulate remedies. Here's the deal, guys. Well said. That's a great quote. You could probably get one of those AI programs to translate any book you want. And I want you to know my name, your name. But Beetlejuice is a player, Jerome Markel. If a woman have less testosterone, it makes sense that they want less sex. Yeah. I remember at the time my ex needed some hormonal therapy just because of her age, and they put her on a little testosterone. The drive went through the roof. Underdog lady. How about the whack pack? Wendy the retard. When I was first alone with my kid at 8 months, I read a book called Toddlers Are A-Holes Better Than Therapy. There you go. I'm going to cut this off, you guys. I got 2 minutes. I got my photographer coming to take pictures of the house. But remember, as LEYKIS says, when we say here, don't let emotions be the captain of your plane. This is what causes people so many issues, is they follow their emotions. Your emotions will let you down and deceive you all the time. If you don't know what emotions are, they're just chemicals. I cringe every time I hear people say, Noel, when you never even use the words all, it's an NPC deflection. There you go. I found her attractive, but now she is boring to me. Well, that's what typically happens. Michael Reitel, good to have you here, brother. Brian was in the chat. Good to see you. You guys go out there and do something fun. All right? Skateboard out of here. It's been a great little chat this morning. Rebel against defeat, okay? And let's see. We'll take one more. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Before your divorce came up, what was your relationship with YouTube and info? Were you on here much or not really looking for life? I was on it quite a bit. So it's been a good stream. We'll check you on the next one. I'm out.